Laura, how the devil are you?
Very well. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Ask me later.
Oh yeah, this is what? This is the beginning-ish of day 2?
Yes, yes.
So...
It's fine. It's good. The show is awesome. Lots of students. Yes.
Apparently very busy today.
Yes, very busy today.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad to see it. Yeah, it already looks busier than any photo or anything I saw from last year, so that's good.
Yes, it's
And
very
I hear
encouraging. Yeah.
It's moving to Long Beach next year.
That's the word on the street.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that, but we did, so it's too late.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cats
Well,
out
we'll
the
prefer
bag.
that because we love New York, but geez, is it expensive to come out here.
It is very expensive.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, you've been jet setting everywhere, so, you know.
But it was nice. We were in Greece, but we were on holiday.
Oh, well, that's even better.
Yeah.
I thought it was for work. That's exciting.
There's always work wherever you go.
Yes, that's
we
true.
can't avoid when you're in the music industry work.
This is
but
true.
If you didn't already see it, of course, Laura did an amazing video with us. And what I like about it is so many people that do what we do are actually musicians.
We are. Fun fact. I know.
I mean, there's occasionally you go up and you meet somebody and maybe they're a marketing person and before they work for Kellogg's Cornflakes, now they're working. It does occasionally happen, but most of the time it's just guys and girls like us that just love what we do, and this is where we end up.
Come on this side of the industry, which is actually not a bad side to be on. It's very fun.
Good.
But then I get to do fun things like that, which was...
do more.
I mean, I'm here for it. That was the best thing ever. And to do it like across the pond, you don't have the instrumentalists be from not anywhere near me.
Oh, we had you in Connecticut. We had Jamie in Sweden.
That's where he was?
He was in Sweden, English, but in Sweden.
Oh my gosh.
And then we cut all the rest of the tracks and mixed it in Brighton.
Yes.
With the drummer from Brighton.
We're very international.
True international.
I don't know. I'm
no
just
drum samples were harmed on that? That was the actual sound of the drums?
Actual sound. Captured by this lovely
By this,
animal. Yes.
There will actually be, let's do it, we'll put the link to the multi-tracks down below so you can go back and test it out. How's this been doing for you? It's been out a few weeks now.
It's great. I know it's still a new baby for us, but it's fantastic. I think having this in the line was a really nice way for us to kind of reevaluate mics that had been around for a minute and say, what's really important? What do people like? What do people need?
Right.
And so it's a total, as you can see from here, it's a total redesign from a design perspective.
It's a whole different world. When you and I were kids coming up, the inexpensive, and I'm sorry, AKG, but the only inexpensive condenser was the C1000. Remember those?
I remember that.
And you had this little bit of plastic that you would screw over the capsule to make it hypercardioid.
Yes, I do remember that. Yes.
It's just like, but even then, they were, for me, they were like £300 or £400.
They were a lot.
You know, which probably equates to about $1,000 now.
Yeah.
You know. So I think the $300 was always what I considered to be the threshold of where condensers started to sound good. And I think you and one other microphone, I think, beat that by doing something sub 300 that I would say still sounds like. Because I mean, the whole recording was done with this mic, with the exception of 57 and
KSM 32? Oh no, the Beta 52.
Beta 52,
in the kit.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
I mean, you can't do everything with a side address condenser.
We probably could have.
Okay, we could have. But
We just didn't have that many. We could have. We had two.
We totally could have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what else have we got going on? Well, here's the new mic, everybody. Oh.
Yep. SM4. This
SM4.
one is all dusty from ACL because it's been at Austin City Limits last weekend.
Oh, okay. So should I be now disinfecting my hands?
Yeah, right. No, just good old-fashioned Austin dust. But that's the good thing about Shure stuff. If you get dust in it, it's still going to keep on going.
Great.
So, yeah, that's new. And then our Nexodyne live microphones. These two right here. This is the cardioid model. And it has this cool technology in it called Ravonic. So it's two perfectly matched capsules.
Right.
Built into this incredible pneumatic shock mount. And the purpose of these capsules is to help basically eliminate handling noise. So when you're doing all your rock star moves and you pull it out of the stand,
we've seen you do them.
And you're grabbing onto that mic, you won't hear all that rumbling. So it's essentially canceling out the frequencies that you don't want in your stage and live performance.
It's cardioid.
Cardioid and then super cardioid.
And super.
Yeah.
What's the price differences?
Same price.
Same price, which is
$299.
$299.
Yeah.
Nice. What is this?
Oh, that's the KSM 8. You've never seen this one?
If I have, I'm blanking at this moment, so I apologize. But I do like the look of it.
So this one, I just like taking the covers off of microphones. This one has dual dyne technology. So Ravonic dual dyne to diaphragms instead of to capsules.
Okay.
And the purpose of that is that it's taking the signal that's coming into the front and into the rear and effectively phase canceling it out so that you have no proximity effect. So this has an insanely large sweet spot. So if you're not the best mic technique, it's going to alleviate that for you.
Okay.
So great for spoken word, houses of worship, people who just aren't used to holding a microphone and get scared of it. It makes the sound engineer's job easier because they can be a little bit more off axis.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And of course, we've been using for all of our podcasting stuff, and we've been using the new SM7
DB.
DB.
Yes. Yes, the DB standing for the built-in preamp that's in there now. So now you don't have to use the fancy interface to get great sound. You can just engage the plus 18 or plus 28 dBs on the back directly.
Great.
And if you bypass it, oops, it's the same as your SM7B. Same exact mic.
Oh yeah, and we're using your labs.
These old things, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually using your labs.
We are. This is the Move mic, and it does have a little windscreen on it, but we didn't put those on for now because I forgot. But they give you wireless direct-to-phone, 2 channels direct-to-phone with no receiver audio.
And that's what Eric's using on his little...
Eric's using the receiver right now, to be fair. So that can incorporate into your existing workflow. But if you just want something to run and gun, do your content, get great sounding audio, and pair it directly to your phone with nothing else,
Perfect.
Move mic. That's the right one.
Excellent. Now, we are doing a giveaway, are we not?
An SM4, yes.
Ooh, okay. The SM4 over here. Dun, dun,
be
dun,
yours.
which we demoed, and as I said, there'll be a link to the multi-tracks in the video down below, so you know what it is you can win. And we're going to do it with the shock mount, yes?
Yes. So it comes in this nice case as well, with the shock mount, with the windscreen.
Great. So there's a link down below where you can enter to win one of these lovely Shure SM4s. And check out the demo.
Please, and thank you.
What do you mean, Chris? You've got too many new things?
We got too many new things. We're doing this whole thing wrong. Yeah, no.
Is that wrong, that you got new stuff?
No, not at all.
Chris, what have you got that's new? Tell us what you got.
All right, let's do this. All right, we got this new MK609 metal knob, 33609. It's basically the first revision. A lot of people don't really think about revisions when they think about the 33609, but the earliest revision, a lot of people really like that. I think it's the most coveted revision of this particular compressor. And it's just a different sound. It uses BA440C cards, which we make exact replicas of. So if you need them in like your vintage consoles, name consoles, things like that, we have them. Just reach out. We're not really selling them separate, you know, aside from that. But if you need them, we got them. This thing is amazing, though. It's such a tank. I wish you could just pull it out and hold it. It's like so heavy. It's great.
Quick,
but,
Eric.
Yeah,
just screw it out.
It's only 2 screws.
Run away with it.
It's only 2 screws.
Yeah.
Of course, we got this guy down here, which we've had about a year and a half now, but I still love it. It's still a personal favorite of mine. The old VA6A from RCA with the black metal tubes.
Lovely.
Yeah, nothing like it. Nothing like this guy. We also have a Eurorack version of our bus comp, which is a first for this format. So all you modular guys, definitely going to want to check this out. This is really cool and unique. We're going to have sound clips soon. You can get some really cool pumping effects. Just things you wouldn't think you can use, like how you could use a bus comp in your modular rig. You can do some different, unique things with it.
I suppose the first obvious question, how much is this?
We're thinking it's going to be around, I think, $399 price range.
Really? Very nice. Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be affordable and it's going to be great. I think at the end of your chain or wherever you want to put it, signal flow wise, you know, I have a lot of producer friends and mixer friends. They're like, I get these modular tracks and they're all over the place volume wise, you know, because they have so many peaks and valleys in everything they're doing. So they can just add a nice little smooth touch if they want to use it as a creative tool with all, you know, the threshold CV.
I was trying to find the auto. There it is. Good.
Oh yeah, auto's there. You got sidechain high pass. You got your 3 ratios for each channel.
Ooh, what are your sidechain high pass frequencies?
Oh, I think it's just a simple one. I think it's 160. But
160.
We can change it to whatever anyone wants. That's really easy for us.
Nice.
As well. Yeah, and these are actually on the standard bus. These are step, but these are variable, which I think is more creative.
Yeah.
For this for this area, you know, for
$400 bucks, that's great.
Yeah, oh, and it sounds amazing. It sounds like a bus comp, you know?
Very nice indeed.
And so we got these two new things, but we also have our new Fair comp that's coming at the end of the year, right here. Here, I'll turn it off. And right now, this is still a prototype. We're probably going to add the security cover as well to it. But we have, basically, I think why this is unique and cool is the fact that it uses the full tube power supply. It uses all 19 original tubes.
Wow.
So it's a true version of this, and you're going to get it for around $7K.
Oh, wow.
Which is a steal, in my opinion.
That's amazing.
So it's got, you know, no nonsense mods. It's got stereo dual mono. It's got a mixed blend, you know, DC thresholds broken out just like the original. Gain trims, because these different modes have different volumes, and it's nice to trim that. And then simple sidechain high pass, 60 hertz, 20 hertz, and 160 hertz.
Wow. That's really tasty.
Yeah. It's
7K?
Yes, and it sounds...
And the built-in Daytona?
Yeah, built in Daytona, end-to-end on site, yep. And I do hear a difference. I mean, I'm a guitar amp guy, and, you know, I've built guitar amps and two power supplies. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. And to take it out and say there isn't, I mean, if I'm being honest, you're just lying to yourself. So,
nice.
Even if it's slight.
I mean, it's not nice that you're lying to yourself, but it's nice that you notice the difference.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the Silver Bullet?
Silver Bullet is actually a louder than liftoff product.
Oh, okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and it's this came out in like 2014, and I think it changed the whole industry. And we have a Mojo module that's inside of it called the LA76, which is really interesting. It's a hybrid between like an LA4 and the line amp of the 1176 Rev F. So it uses basically everything that anyone hated about an LA4 has been changed here. Like we keep the compression section, which people like traditionally, but like all like the slew rates of the ICs and that are replaced by a discrete line amp of the 1176.
I always liked an LA4 on guitars, but that was the only thing I liked it on.
Yeah, it's a great compressor, but yeah, this I love the sound. We might actually turn that into a 500 series module because I think it's so cool and unique. It's like a hybrid product, and I think we've done some different left field kind of things, and I think that's one of the coolest things we've done today. So
very nice indeed.
And we also announced a rebirth of the CL20, which a lot of people are not familiar with. But this to me is a compressor kind of near and dear to my heart. They showed up in a lot of the old late 60 RCA consoles, and along with the Melcore GME 20s. And if you look them up, if you look up Melcore CL20, you'll find some photos of them. The original had the gray knobs. This is our own knob design, but otherwise...
I love this knob.
Yeah, it's so much fun. And it's a FET compressor. And it's very unique in the sense that there's only one control doing a lot of different things right here. So like as you start turning up this control level, you start getting like really aggressive compression like an 1176. But then as you start getting past noon, you start getting a more smooth sound. Like just think about slower release, slower attack.
Right, I was wondering that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's as you turn it up, it's almost counterintuitive to how you think a control works. As you turn it up, usually you expect things to get more aggressive. Yeah. But it's quite the opposite, which I think is cool and unique. You know? Very
much so. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. How much is that going to be?
That we haven't set a price on yet. It's coming near the end of the year, but it's going to be affordable, just like our dual, our DAM 27 preamp.
Yeah.
It's the second product from Modular Audio Products, which we've rebooted. Probably going to be under 500.
Nice.
Yeah, 500 series for under 500.
Great. Yeah. 500 for under 500. Anything else new? I mean, this is a lot, but hey.
This is a lot. This is our traditional rack right here that we've shown at a few shows with the Trainwreck Distress series. There was we actually did skip over the DAM 27 preamp that's new as well, which actually was nominated for a TC award at NAMM this year.
Nice. Let's go back and look at it.
Yeah, it's our first time being nominated. So yeah, this is the DAM 27, which stands for Dual AM 27.
Yeah, nice.
Yep, and it's been nominated for a TC award in the preamp category, which, like I said, it's our first time being nominated. So we're
congrats.
Yeah, and it's cool because it's it's not your traditional Audioscape product. It looks like nothing you've ever seen before.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a smart move. Come up with your own individual design stuff. Although the classics are the classics for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear this. I really
Yeah.
want to hear. Obviously, want to hear this too. And this at 400 is. I hope it does really well for you.
Oh, I think this definitely fills a hole and a need in that market. So we're extremely excited.
Excellent, Chris. You're a rock star.
Oh, Warren, you're the best.
No, you're the best. This is wonderful.
No, you're the best.
So, Chris has got a plug-in version of this as well, which is actually announcing tomorrow, which will be the last day of AES. But you've got 4 total plugins now. This, and what are the other 3?
We have the reverb.
Yep.
We also have the Golden 58, which isn't here because we've actually discontinued production on that. So it's great that you can actually get that in plug-in form.
Wow.
And that's a great saturation tool.
And of course the V-Comp compressor. So that's a combination of 4 plugins, which you can enter to win down below. You have 3 chances to win one of 4 plugins. So look down below to enter. Chris, thank you ever so much.
Warren, thank you.
You rock. So we're here with Martin Seidel at Austrian Audio. How the devil are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Warren?
I'm good. I'm glad that it looks like we went to the same tailor with our jackets here, you know?
At least we pretend, yeah.
Look, you just told me, and I haven't even listened yet, but you just
Yeah.
told me you have some new headphones. What are these?
These are, they're the High X20. High X20, it's in the range of closed-back headphones. So it's
Very light.
very lightweight, it's very comfy, and it's especially tuned for tracking. Yeah, so
Nice.
other than the ones, we're doing for monitoring, these are a little bit biased towards lower end.
Okay.
Because when you're tracking, you need a little bit of this body. Yeah,
Interesting, because traditionally, I think of the most famous, without talking about another company, I'm just going to do it, the most famous tracking headphones in Europe, of course, were the DT100s, which have no low end whatsoever, not even a tiny bit.
All right. Well,
no, but this is good.
I think it is good because
It's more enjoyable.
it's more enjoyable. You want to have the passion when you play.
Yeah.
You need to feel the emotion.
Yeah.
And especially when you play bass or drums,
Right.
you need to have this extra and low end. So these are tuned to be really punchy and very lightweight, very comfy. You hardly feel them. It's isolating pretty well.
Yeah, about to say, good isolation.
Yeah. So we launched these here at AES, so they're brand new.
This is the 818.
How much are they?
Here in the US, it's $149.
149, great.
Yeah.
We were over at IK a second ago. I think
Yeah.
we mentioned that. So they don't make headphones. We were over there, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, will this work for bass?" And his thing said Umberto.
If you come back and I can change it.
It's Will Lee. It's Will Lee, played with Steely Dan. He's a bass player on Night Flight, Donald Fagen, and Spyro Gyra, and he's probably one of the greatest bass players of all time. But they had no idea who he was.
Okay.
And so this guy's talking. I'm like nudging him, and I go to Wikipedia and I type in Will Lee, and I start scrolling the credits, which is like 500. Anyway, so it made me want to go and listen to Steely Dan. So we're going to listen to Steely Dan.
Still that.
But here's the bitching part. This is how full.
Great. These are really good.
They are, yeah. Can you hear me? No, you can't hear me. You can't hear me. Don't
Let me.
worry.
What's your top of the range headphones here?
This is one of our.
Well,
What's your most expensive headphones, my friend?
you really want the top of the notch?
I want the top of the range.
You've
I want to do a
never-
quick
you've-
comparison.
So track.
Well, we just short ago we launched these guys.
Okay.
They are selling on completely different channels, honestly.
Okay.
They are really highest end mastering. I mean, there's a lot to say about this.
Tell me. Talk about them.
Well, it's
These are not 149.
no. Try again.
How much are they?
2700.
2,700. Okay.
Yeah. So now we designed own proprietary drivers. If you want to look at them,
Yeah.
they're coated like carbon, so they make it stiff, so the membrane can move like a piston rather than wobble.
Okay.
Yeah?
Interesting. I
That's
like
very important because you use the whole surface
Right.
at the same frequency in the same time.
Okay.
So the stiffness is pretty important. So we designed these drivers especially for these headphones. Secondly, they are, mechanics, what people underestimate, mechanics really change sound.
Yeah.
Because you have your head-related transfer functions, how the drivers sit on your ear. These are the first headphones ever in the market. Sorry if I just take them off you.
No, please.
That you not only can adjust in any way of your usual adjusting,
Yeah.
but you even can adjust them to
Okay, nice.
the the angle your ears are fit to your head.
That's a good idea.
So they fit without having the headband anywhere else than they need to be. So this is what physics can do with a headphone.
Okay. Same Steely Dan track. Ooh, closer than a close thing on National Close Day.
Take these two capsules, put them into wireless capsules.
I listened to Babylon's Sister, and there's such a light symbol on the left-hand side. It goes. The details are outstanding. I can hear a gentle chorusing on this left-hand guitar that I didn't notice before.
Yeah, I mean, in this environment, it's difficult because they're completely open.
Oh no, it's good.
Pretty
I'm
loud
listening
here,
to this probably 5% too loud, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I want to get lost in it. Do you have a back pocket I can put these in, Eric? So these, going back to these, are the 149 ones.
Yes.
These are your kind of, I'm going to say this on camera and get into trouble. These are kind of your Audio-Technica killers. Because I do feel like Audio-Technica have dominated the market in the kind of sub $200 range. And I'm glad they need some competition. Because people ask me, they're like, at that price range, I'm just like, I don't think anybody's close except for Audio-Technica. These are nice. I'm going to go back to this after listening to $2,700 headphones. Because I was impressed with these straight off the bat to see how I feel now after.
It's a single-sided version of the capsule. Yep.
Well, again, it's a different purpose.
Still really good.
They are.
Headphones go from...
Still pretty darn good.
Still.
Not quite as efficient. I had to put this up a couple extra 5% louder just to get
Exactly,
closer.
exactly.
These are super efficient. I
They
turned
are.
those down,
Right,
from here. But good low end, good detail.
That's the point, you know?
Yeah.
And they are also featuring our high excursion drivers, right?
Really?
So, yeah, they do. So that's the way we go it, you know? We don't go the larger format. Again, it's about this, not getting them wobbly, getting them precise, and rather moving the same amount of air by more excursion. We use a ring magnet moving over the coil, and that way we have a higher excursion. Usually you find drivers like that in headphones $1,000 up, right?
Yeah, these are really
We
good.
spent them on these because we think, you know, we need to have a killer product in that price range that really gives you the low end, that gives you the smoothness.
Yeah, and we want to bring people in. We want to make stuff that's affordable so they're encouraged to make music. Yeah. Or else you can't sell these because there won't be anybody
that can afford them.
That can afford it. That's create a career to be able to afford those. Yeah. But these 27. What's this model?
The Composer.
The Composer.
Yeah.
I'll give you the shipping address later. Okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we're gonna do a giveaway with a pair of these. Yes?
We do. Yes.
Yep. So
Brand
brand
new.
new ones. And what's the model again?
That's a high X20.
A high X20.
So
high X20. So
yes.
you can enter down below to win a lovely pair of these high X20s.
I love to speak about this. These
Please,
are babies.
tell us.
Because what is it? You know, this is, for me, it's a mobile recording system.
Right.
And I emphasize, well, let me put it that way. People ask, oh, it's another USB mic. And I say, it's not. It's a well-suspended, like studio mic suspended, high quality, high sound pressure level, which is a big difference to USB mics.
Sure.
You can record bass drum with it, right?
Yeah.
Microphone, condenser mic, sitting on an interface. And how would you connect your brand name whatsoever interface to your computer? Via USB.
Sure.
Right? So we have a microphone sitting on top of an interface. Why an interface? It's a 2-channel interface. You can plug in a guitar, keyboard, whatsoever, and record it in parallel because it's a 2-channel interface to your mobile device, DAW, whatsoever. You have a real-time monitoring on it.
Yep.
And now here's the clue. You can switch from this line, keyboard, guitar, whatsoever you want to put in there, into a mic, so low impedance switch down there. Either you have plugged your instrument and you record it, but you can also add the satellite to it.
Yep.
And suddenly you have a true OTRF stereo recording device, mobile, no plugins, no software needed. that's important to us. We don't want to get into this app thing, into this having your podcast software whatsoever. This is a recording device, everything on board. You have the monitoring, you can push the button, then you balance between the back and the front input.
Yeah.
Or you can push again and you have the total volume of the
Yeah.
system. You know, if you lift it, if you touch it, this is not a toy, it's a full metal body.
Yeah, it's just, I remember
It's
before.
really, really
some actual weight to this.
natural weight to it.
Yeah.
And again, this is going into this range, of the recording, of the tracking headphones. We want to make it affordable. So the studio at its own is $199.
It's $199.
And the system with the satellite comes in the box with all the cables, guitar cable, link cable, USB.
And the bar?
At $299, and the stereo bar.
Nice.
Which has 3 different holes for camera adapter, European adapter, American adapter.
Nice.
So you don't need any additional adapters. It has exactly 17.5 centimeters distance. This is the OTRF distance you need for true stereo recording. That's all in the box, $299, and you can decently record choir, small orchestra, or like a string quartet or anything.
Nice.
Very, very, and you post-production, you will recognize it's really good quality.
Yeah. But we need to review it properly.
Yeah.
We should do this and do like this would be great for maybe doing a stereo live recording.
Yeah, we can do this, and we could probably customize it for your channel,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
because what you can do, these magnetic blades,
Yeah.
we provide, point one, print templates. You can
Nice.
design your own template. We provide the 3D data. You can print even the whole plate if you want to.
Yeah.
I don't have it with me here today, but we did a very funny 3D printed one where out of this ice block Han Solo came out, right? So yeah, I mean, you can customize it for your TV channel, for your recording studio, whatsoever.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So this is $199 and then
99, or the system is $299, including cable, bars, case,
really good.
everything. Yeah. So it's a very versatile product, and it's studio quality recording.
we are at Apogee with Greg. How are you?
Great, thanks for having me.
It was a lot of fun last night. We went to the power station and we heard, well, you were helping, I suppose you were comparing it, weren't you?
I was helping Bob with some of the playback things,
Great.
but it was Bob who did most of the heavy lifting.
It was amazing. We were basically in the live room at the power station listening to records, most of which were made in that room, and all of his immersive mixes with a full immersive system and using all Gen Left speakers and this lovely new stuff that you have out. So nice little segue.
Yes.
What do you have new here, new and nutritious at Apogee?
Yes, for the past few years, the hottest topic in audio industry has been immersive audio.
I hadn't noticed.
And obviously, immersive audio was popular within film industry for a long time.
Yep.
And when it finally came to music, our founder and CEO, Betty Bennett, wanted to provide an option for consumers or prosumers or professionals who wanted to get immersive audio without having to spend $50,000. So we came up with the concept for a really simple unit that would provide that.
Right. And the great thing is, look, Apogee is known for being very high end. And so for you guys to come to a more affordable place and produce something like this, I think is pretty huge, because we all know and love your quality of sound.
Thank you.
I remember when I first started off in Pro Tools, it was like everybody wanted to get Pro Tools software, and sorry, Avid, but everybody wanted to buy Apogee converters, and with good reason. So I suppose just take us through what you've got here. I suppose here's a nice illustration of bang for the buck and what you're doing.
Yeah, so the product is called Symphony Studio, and we call it series because there are 3 different configurations. On high level, all 3 products share the same A to D and D to A converters, same mic and line inputs with 75 dB of gain, soft limit on analog circuitry, as well as input and output DSP. On the input DSP, we have EQ, compressor, and saturation.
Yep.
On the output DSP, we have room calibration that has 16-band parametric EQ per output channel,
Great.
speaker delay, and bass management.
Pretty huge.
So the
Great bang for buck.
Yeah, and so the three configurations that we have, well, the first one starts with 2x12. It
Yep.
has two inputs, again, mic and line inputs, 12 line level outputs, USB-C connectivity, USB class compliant, compatible with Mac and PC, priced at $19.99.
Yeah, which is great. But this A8, when I first heard about what you had, I just thought you should sell bucket loads of this. I mean, this is incredible value for the price.
Yeah, so the 8x8 is kind of the what we call spiritual successor to our Ensemble products. It features 8 mic and line inputs, 8 line level outputs, USB connectivity, priced at $27.99.
Yeah, I mean, that's for 8 pre's, that's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have the 8x16 that has 8 mic line inputs, 16 line level outputs to support up to 9.1.6 immersive audio.
Amazing.
Priced at $34.99. And all of these products, again, they're called Symphony for a good reason.
Right.
We took the analog design from Symphony Mark II S2 modules and put them into this wonderful product. And on our booth today, we have Symphony Studio 8x16s. All three of them are 8x16s. So basically, the front panel is a very simple layout.
Yeah.
On the left side, you have the input controls. On the right side, you have the output controls. Pretty much, when you press the in button, you can select the input channel. If you press knob, you can go into the input channel, change the input gain, and you can have all the way up to 75 dB. You won't need any separate mic preamps to drive any microphones for that matter. If you press the channel button, you have the option to change the analog level between mic plus 4 dBu line level and minus 10 dBV line level. There are also options to engage phantom power, soft limit, which is Apogee's unique input circuitry,
soft limit, yeah.
and it has options to invert phase.
We still use, what is it, the 88,000 SE? I'm not joking.
Wow.
It's the purple special edition one. I think it was new in 1998. We track drums through it at 48K with the soft limit on. And everybody's always like, oh, well, is this done on tape? You know. And well, obviously we use really nice mic pre's on it. We have the Canon console, which is superb, G320s. But the point is like, I got it from Dave Jordan. It's what he used on every record he made from that period on. And they just sound phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I know it's old technology and all this kind of stuff, but I stand behind the soft limit. It is really remarkable how good it sounds.
Yeah, and just to add to that, we actually did make soft limit into a plugin. For the past almost 25, 30 years, soft limit has been an analog circuitry all along, but a few years ago we introduced it as a plugin, which you can get for $10.
Nice. 10 whopping dollars, Eric. Cool. So we got so there's another 8x16.
They're all 8x16s, but on the output side, we have the Apogee button is just the home screen display. When you press the speaker icon, now you can control the output level. A lot of customers are curious, if I get an interface and want to mix an immersive audio, do I have to get a separate monitor controller?
Right.
With Symphony Studio and Symphony Mark II, you do not have to get a separate monitor controller because our product interfaces are monitor controllers themselves. So you have monitor controller built into it. We have 2 headphone outputs, headphone 1 and headphone 2. Headphone 1 features 1/4-inch jack. Headphone 2 is 1/8 inch. They're same equivalent quality, but just different connectors. And what's unique with Symphony Studio and Symphony Mark II is that we have a unique feature called monitor workflows that allows you to basically set up any type of monitoring situation. Meaning, let's say you have a stereo setup and you have multiple stereo speakers. You can set up monitor workflow ABC to switch between them. You can also create a monitor workflow to switch to 5.1, 7.1, 9.1.6, or soloing height, whatever you want to do with it. You can have up to 8 monitor workflows with Symphony Studio. And one last thing, we just announced this bundle with IK Multimedia with their iLoud MTM Mark II series. Their immersive bundle with Apogee Symphony Studio,
Lovely.
2x12 and 8x16, priced at starting at $54.99. You can get a whole immersive setup under $5,500.
Great. Well, we actually did a little segment with them on this as well, so you'll get to see IK's one as well as Apogee's.
Amazing.
Marvelous. So here with Josh at Focal, who has some new headphones. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so these are new Lenses Professional closed-back headphone. They've been in the works for quite a while. We have our high-end headphone, the Clear Magnesium Pro, the open-back ones.
Yep.
They've been a huge success for us. We also have a set of closed-back headphones called Listen Pros that are a little more inexpensive, $299. And the comment from all our high-end users has always been like, I wish these were a closed-back thing. They sound awesome. They sound incredible. We have probably more top-tier users using those than anything else. So we've been working for a while to try to make a closed-back headphone that feels more like an open back, but still gives you all the benefits in terms of isolation and attenuation that you would get. We pulled a couple tricks to kind of make that happen that you don't find really elsewhere.
Well, I know this. This is Bob Clear Mountain mixing Queen with our friend Luke Spiller singing and the Foo Fighters. Let's have a listen. A lot of fun. It's enjoyable to see the visuals as well and see such incredible musicianship and such a great song. Yeah, they sound great.
Thanks.
Very, very, very pronounced mid-range. Not brittle, don't get me wrong, but very mid-range forward. So was that part of the kind of MO?
I think maybe the volume of the show plays a little bit of that.
Yeah.
They're definitely a little more mid-forward than you would probably...
They're not brittle, don't get me wrong. It's just definitely, I would find mixing mid-range on this quite easy to do.
Yeah, and that was kind of the target, especially like, with our most recent Trio 6, it's a little more mid-forward than it was before. We find that the clients are wanting that resolution, especially in the mid-range, but they also want extension. And most closed-back headphones, they have an issue because there's this sealed volume. You have an acoustic impedance, and it's like all the sound is trapped between the back of the ear cup, the ear cushion, and your eardrum, right? So it's got nowhere to go. So we found a couple things that allowed us to increase our dynamic range. We put 2 ports inside the headphone, which you don't typically see. One's behind the logo, one's under the ear cup. And we also totally changed the motor and the internal part. So we've got like a whole diffusive system inside the ear cup to kind of like let that low end hit and have all that transient information, that dynamic, without masking your mid-range, right? Because closed-backs are usually one of 2 things. You have a lot of low end and your mid-range kind of gets muddled or the stereo image kind of falls apart, or you don't have a lot of low end, the extension you want, but your mid-range is there. Sure. And we try to want to strike a balance, but with still that mid-range resolution.
I love the mids on that. And like I said, I've heard this mix in Bob's studio. I heard it last night at the power station through a huge system. So no. Absolutely superb.
Yeah, thank you.
How much are they going to be?
$699.
$699.
Yeah, a little more expensive. We feel it's worth it, and we think a lot of folks will too.
Beautiful.
They're super comfy too. I mean,
very comfortable. We're here at IK. How the devil are you?
We're doing great. Excited to be here at AES. We haven't been in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, yep. You weren't here last year?
No, 2 years ago. So it's good to be back.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yes, it's good to be back in New York and not down in Florida where the hurricane's about to hit.
Although I hear
it's going to pass over us, thankfully. Yes, we heard about that as well.
Yeah?
That's a big change. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, big change.
Yeah, but we're excited.
So what have we got that's new and nutritious?
Yes, we are excited. We're actually really thrilled to be announcing a partnership that we put together with Apogee to support the immersive mixing community. So I'm sure you're familiar with Apogee's new Symphony interfaces.
We know
the 8x16 and the 2x12 are fantastic interfaces. They're now available in a bundle with our iLoud MTM MK2 immersive bundle. So you get all 11 speakers, you get the 4 overhead mounting brackets, and you get the Apogee interface, all for just $54.99. So a really substantial savings off of the cost of buying them individually.
So basically what I'm seeing here?
Basically everything other than the mic stands,
Oh, wow. All right, Eric, this would be a good pan around.
Yeah.
So this, the Symphony plus all the speakers for...
Correct.
$54.99.
There's one version with the 2x12 that's $54.99.
Yeah.
This is actually the 8x16. It's the step up that's $68.99. But still a tremendous value, and we think is going to make immersive mixing, Atmos mixing accessible to a lot more people at a much more accessible price point.
Plus, a pair of decent speakers on their own can cost you the same price.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Well, and the other nice thing, if you're familiar, the iLoud MTM MK2s. They're very light, they're very easy to mount, very flexible. They have the built-in arc room correction, so they'll tune themselves to the position. With the interface, we get really great time alignment. So it really makes it faster and easier to set up an immersive space. in your B studio or your C room or at home or in a project studio. So it's letting people work in spaces where maybe it might have been price prohibitive to try to put in an immersive setup before.
Yeah. Amazing. Very, very cool indeed. I want to have a quick listen.
Yes.
We might have to mute the music so we don't get copyright struck, but let's give it a listen.
This is it.
What are we? Excellent. Sounds absolutely superb. I love this little setup.
Thank you so much.
It's interesting doing these things at a show when there's 10,000 people walking around.
There's a bit of a noise floor.
A bit of a noise. Luckily, it's not NAMM though, so you don't have cymbals and drums and PAs going. I've done some interesting interviews where you have a band playing like 10 feet away. But
absolutely, yes. We've had our booth on the guitar floor a few times, and it's an experience. But we love it. We're looking forward to NAMM next year. So
this has been good. I like this. I thought last year I was a little worried.
Okay.
Honestly,
this show has been packed for us since the minute it opened. It's been really great.
Good.
The enthusiasm and just the interest has been really awesome.
That's really good to hear. Fantastic.
No, it's great to see a show being healthy and
Well, we need it. We need to bring in. There's a lot of young people here. We need to bring in people, get them excited about recording and mixing.
This show does a fantastic job. I've seen a ton of students, which is awesome. We love having them here, ask questions, learn about the gear. Get them excited about the industry. We love to support that, and we love that AES has been supporting that.
Wonderful. Well, great.
Thank you so much.
Daniel.
Appreciate you coming by.
So we're big, we're bad, we're back with Marek and, well, how the devil are you, basically? You having a good AES?
I'm having a good AES. Yeah, we had some good flow, lots of students, but they're open-minded, and so I'm brainwashing the future generation of audio
Brainwashing
engineers.
future generation?
Absolutely.
Well, that's good. So, what have you got that's new and nutritious? You were pointing to me towards something over here.
Right. So Chris Muth was the first guy to really create a mid-side hardware box, right? And that was the secret weapon back in the mastering days, because how do you take a stereo track with left and right and turn it into a middle and a sides, because you want to affect things differently, like maybe I need to de-ess my vocal, but now I'm losing all the beautiful bright stuff that's happening to shimmer out of my drums over here, or maybe I need to squash that, squash the snare drum that's too hot, but now that's going to bring the whole mix down. So that was kind of the opening up of the mastering world, giving a whole different set of tools. And so this is our limited edition anniversary.
Nice.
We made 100 of them. Beautiful little box. I've got about 20 left, and then that's the story.
Very nice indeed.
But the idea here today was to show people a modern day workflow, that this is a modern day console, right? So we've got all the beautiful Manley equipment, because we are, you take your mic, you cut through your Vox box over in the other rack, that goes into your goes into your liaison. So now I can activate all the Manley outboard while I'm tracking, right? And then that goes into my AD Plus, into my session. And I'm playing back through my converts, through my summing, and I can then go through bus B for my mix bus and use all my beautiful Manley and dangerous equipment again on the mix bus. So people that are afraid to use their variable menu for anything except welding it to the mix bus, right? All of a sudden it's like, okay, I'm tracking with it, I'm mixing with it. So
nice.
Yeah. So that's really about workflow for people, because all of us, we all aspire to having a wonderful car and a wonderful console, and most of us will get neither. So this way you can get it one piece at a time. You can work your way up.
No, I love that idea. And then last time when we saw you in Hamburg.
Yeah, Hamburg.
Yeah, about 11 months ago, I heard your speakers for the first time, the extra
Yes.
Yeah. So how's that been going?
That's great. We've been, since we're local here in New York, they're based out of Brooklyn. So we've been setting people up for appointments so they can actually just come over there in a better environment, listening environment. And
it's been interesting trying to listen to speakers in here, but
they're excited about the Ex Machinas.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have a larger version now. We have the Arcturus. So
tell us about those.
So the Arcturus is either soffit mount or freestanding. So it's essentially this, but a bigger footprint. Comes with separate amplifiers that you connect to. They're not built in like they are here.
Good.
Right? And that gives you extension down to like 25 hertz, if you want to get down in there, and a lot more SPL. So for anybody that needs power, hip hop, EDM, whatever, and needs to play things loud, especially for your clients, you may leave the room and flee, and they can, blow themselves to bits, but it still sounds incredibly accurate. It sounds just like these sound, just at bigger sound pressure levels.
Very nice indeed. Just go and check out Chameleon Labs. Aha, yes, I remember well.
I know of him, but I don't know him. So we got the mic pre's. I mean, feel the components, man. For this price point, just feel the switches, feel the knobs. This stuff is made correctly. We do our own custom wound inductors, our own custom wound transformers. It's built right. You know, it feels good. So at a reasonable price point. That's the main thing behind Chameleon Labs. And more magic to come. So we're working on products behind the scenes from all the brands.
Lovely.
So be aware.
Treat me like an idiot, because I am. I actually like the mic made, and I know they don't make them anymore, do they?
Nope.
I really need one of these.
Yep. I found one used for a client last week because we were designing her room, and it was all about workflow. I'm like, you really need a mic made. So we found one on eBay for her. But yeah.
It's a great idea. It was a really, really good idea. And it was for guys like us, like Produce Like a Pro, it was a great idea because you can audition microphones and mic pre's. Genius idea. But tell us about the Core.
Oh yeah, the Core is the younger sibling of the Vox Box. So it's a channel strip. So I've got my mic pre here, and then I've got electro-optical, as you're super familiar with, like the LOP Plus.
Yep.
I've got my electro-optical circuit here, which we love on things like vocals because it's forgiving and it makes things punch. And then I've got a very simple EQ here with my high and low shelf and my mid frequencies, which I can select. Therefore, my control is finer, right? Because if I was just picking a frequency and it had to be all the way from here to all the way from there, it's very touchy. So this way I can get into a finer group of frequencies. And then I've got a FET limiter on the back end, which obviously for catching overs is cool, but I like pushing into it like with a bass for character because it's got this fun, like beefy, sort of bottom end. So if you want to hit, use this as, we call the Vox box lovingly the bass box also. Same thing, come in here direct, hit that limiter for fun.
When I worked with Dave Jordan, I asked him about recording vocals. This is years ago, 1998. And I remember him giving me a full lesson on EQ, basically gentle compression, EQ going into limiting, exactly the same thing. And then I said to him, what about, when you're mixing bass guitar? He's like, I do it exactly the same way I do vocals. So it's interesting you just go bass guitar and vocals. But it's the compression, EQ, limiting kind of combination. What is this? Is it 10 to 1, 20 to 1, do you know?
I think it's 12 to 1.
12 to 1, okay.
Yeah, if our memory serves.
Very nice.
Yeah, and it's got gain makeup there. I mean, the point of the gain makeup is just fun for sometimes.
Please tell me it's still made.
This is still made.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
I get all excited about it, like, but we don't actually make that anymore. No, this is great. I'm going to have to get hold of Ivana. That would be amazing to hear.
Yeah, it's got a separate line input and mic input in the back. It's just, it's built correctly.
All made in Chino.
It's all made in Chino, California.
Yeah. Excellent. And then we've got some Manley mics on display here as well.
Sure do.
God bless it.
So the reference cardioid, reference silver, reference gold.
Lovely.
People often think it's good, better, best because of the prices, but that's not the way to look at it. They are very different animals. The reference cardioid has become sort of the de facto pop microphone. Max Martin really helped blow that up on the scene for us. And so it's the go-to tube if you want to just add talent. You don't have to touch the EQ and fiddle. It's also, we find a lot of singer-songwriters really like it too because they don't know, roll this out, push this, how do I get a vocal to sit in the mix, follow me on the, follow the vocalist on my nose, but not, be so in front of the music. So that's been a go-to. The gold is opposite. It's the hear everything. It's give you everything. It's the audiophile microphone. I want to hear, I want to hear the sound of light on a leaf. It's like that's what you're going to use. It's great on pianos, drum overheads, acoustic guitars. Michael McDonald loves that microphone. And then the silver is a completely different beast. I call it the mid-range driven animal. Yeah. And, mid-range has been sort of a dirty word. Like nobody talks about mid-range anymore. We just talk about bass, treble all the time, right?
Sure.
But there's so many things that live in the mid-range, like vocal.
I think we talk about bass a lot more now because we can actually hear it now.
And we can create it.
Yeah, we can create it, and it can be kept. I remember Jack saying to me, you know, there wasn't shortage of low end on the records he was making in the 70s, but by the time they got to mastering for vinyl, it was all wiped off.
Absolutely.
So I think we talk about it because now we can actually hear it.
Right. I remember listening like Queen jazz and thinking this has got a lot of bass for a record like that. At that time, that was a lot of bass. You know. So so it's very true. So and I think it's been exciting for people to have it in their cars and have this experience. Eventually, we're going to get over it. We're going to get back to mid-range for the singer.
No, I agree. All the details in the mid-range for sure.
And so this mic does that for you. What it's exceptionally good on, I feel, is a hip-hop male vocal, right? Because a lot of time, a hip-hop male vocal, they're going to use something that might give them lots of all this bottom, and you're going for the holy trinity of bass, kick, and vocal, you know, in hip hop. And if this vocal is hanging down and fighting with these two guys that are already in competition, you're really having a war. So this guy pops it right where you want it, and you're not fighting with your foundational elements of your bass and your kick. The other thing it's really great on is a female bluesy singer, like a Susan Tedeschi or like a Beth Hart. And those people either down in here and they go up here, and all of a sudden when they hit that, you know, your 414 makes your eyebrows light on fire, you know, and you have to call an ambulance. So that mic is really well suited for that genre. They can handle the power of those singers and the frequency register. I mean, I think microphones have been very misogynistic over the years, right? A lot of them just don't work on female voices. You know, they're great for men, and you're always EQing things away for a female vocalist.
Sure.
And you do not have to do that here.
Yeah, I've probably most of my career, I'd say we've been lucky, about 6% of 75% of what we do is actually working with girl singers more than anything else. I've always found 47s to be great for it, but I know C12s are always traditionally, because the C12 had that sort of bit more scoopy sound, so it would fill in the low end. But I actually found a 47 worked most of the time, so I ended up using C12 style microphones on guys that would always sing in falsetto to try and give them some body back.
Yeah, right.
But no, these are great mics. I used to see a lot of these in Nashville.
Yep, Ed Sheeran has been spotted using this.
And I had, I think Mark Martell, we told him to try that out, and I think he actually ended up loving this most. So it's like, it's one of those things, isn't it? You just kind of find what suits you.
And like I said, that's the just that talent. People don't mess with the EQ necessarily. This guy, it gives you room to be able to play. So it depends if you're a sculptor or not.
And the continuously variable pattern here is really nice. So really nice.
Yes, because people forget when you change the pattern, you're changing the timbre. So all of a sudden, it's like for me, with the bass baritone, closer to Omni works better for me.
Absolutely,
On this mic.
It's going to be honest.
So.
Yeah, if you're in a pretty dead environment, you can go to full Omni, and it just sounds natural.
Use a great reflection filter in a decent room, and it doesn't matter what pattern you're on. You know, just go for what sounds. You're looking for here's the vocal, here's the mic. I want those things to lock. To work together.
Yeah. Great. Well, fantastic. Always amazing to see you.
Yeah, man, you too.
So, we're with my friend Gil from Avid. How the devil are you?
Doing great. How are you, sir?
I'm good. It's always good to see you.
You too?
We've been seeing each other at these events for about 4.5 million years.
Yeah, you know, hair's kind of tells the tale.
Yeah. This is the man. I think this is when I started going grey at 13, pulling out hairs. And I think at that point, by the time I got to 15, I was dyeing it pink, like you do when you're in Britain in the olden days. Yeah, it was pink. And I think I've been pink, blonde, black, whatever. So people always say you dye your hair. I'm like, no kidding. I work in the music industry. But maybe one day I'll
I just embraced it and just went all the way.
Well, I haven't done it yet, so maybe it'll be my new color.
There you go.
Color number 5.
All right.
So what do we have that's new and nutritious for Avid?
Absolutely. So here at the show, we've got a number of kind of tech previews that we're working on. Some of them will be out sooner than others. The first thing I actually want to talk about, though, is something that is in the very, very early stages of development. It'll be a while before it comes out, but we're really excited because this is kind of our first foray into Pro Tools to get some AI technology in here. So what we're going to be talking about here is speech to text. So basically, this technology allows us to select a number of clips. We can then right-click on there. You got a new transcription menu item. We hit transcribe. And it basically is going to go and analyze that audio, and it's going to pull the text out from the file.
Ah, very nice.
So the big implication for us with this was definitely for post and for like dialogue tracks and being able to do a lot of editing there. But this is a music session. This has actual vocals and stuff, and being able to pull that out and see what the actual lyrics are, it's really, really cool.
Oh no, I'm obsessed with it. Vocal production to me is the most important part of what we do.
Yep. Well, that's what tells the story, right?
It's what tells the story. And I sit there, we've had this conversation so many times today, mainly off camera, about how most video education at the moment is just talking about the music and the gear and whatever. It's like, how about the song and the lyric, you know? And this is going to be great for comping, great for going, I want to punch in where you said laid in my hands.
There you go. And so some of the things that we're actually being able to do with this, we have a transcription window that basically anything that's been transcribed, you can either tell it to look at the entire timeline, all the tracks, and just show you everything that's there, or you can just look at what's selected if you want. Now, what's really cool about this is that once you've done that transcription on a clip, it'll show you the track name, the clip name, the location that it happens on the timeline, and then all of the text from the clip. Now, you actually have the ability, you can do whatever counters. So like right now I'm in bars and beats as my main counter, but I can switch it to time code. I can switch it to minutes and seconds. You can do all of that from there.
Much more detailed, Nice, nice.
So then you also have the ability to start typing in filters. Now, obviously we don't have a ton of stuff here, but if I wanted to come over here and say, let's search for the word no. Basically, it'll filter everything out, show you every clip that's been analyzed with that word in it. Now, for right now, because this is still in early stages, we don't have all the hooks in there yet. Eventually, what we'd like to be able to do is to come down here, click on a word, and it basically take you there. That's not happening yet in this window. But what we can do is you can actually come up here to the actual transcript lane underneath the clip, and I can click on a word and it will take your cursor right to where that word happens. You can also use modifiers like shift to actually make a selection. So definitely some really, really cool implementations on how we can extract that text out, and then how we can use that in our everyday editing.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. I mean, I love it. I mean, I'm a lyric sheet person. I'll have lyrics. I'll sit there. I'll be marking up stuff as we go down. But combine this, it's going to be huge.
And right now, so one other thing is what people have been asking here at the show is it all actually happens locally on the computer. So this doesn't have to be attached to the internet. It's not going into the cloud for the analyzation. It's all local here at your machine, so you don't have to be, because a lot of people I know that are still really weird about having their audio machines connected to the internet and all that. It's all local, so that's a really good thing as well.
Nice, very nice.
So
what else you got?
Yep, so another thing that we want to talk about is some more ARA partnerships that we got going on. So we started our ARA journey with Ceremony and Melodyne back in 2022. Earlier this year, we added Spectral Editor from Isotope. We added some SynchroArts with Repitch, Revoice Pro, and Vocaline Pro, and also AutoLine 2 and AutoLine Post from SoundRadix. So
we love SoundRadix. Great stuff.
Great processes to be able to use in that ARA world. So here with our tech preview here, basically we've got 2 new partners with 3 new processes that we're talking about. The first 2, in my opinion, it's kind of made my head warp a little bit, but I think it's a great partnership. So we've actually done some partnership with Steinberg, and we're going to have Spectral Layers Go, which is their basic Spectral Layers package, and WaveLab Go available for Pro Tools.
Nice.
So with Spectral Layers Go, the really big thing, I think, kind of the takeaway feature that we're going to get out of this that we've never had in Pro Tools is to be able to take a stereo full mixed music track and actually be able to basically extract out a vocal.
Right.
So we've already done the analyzation here. You can see over here it's actually divided things out, the layers. I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I want to play just a second. So this is just a audio track I brought in. The blue you're seeing is basically the track, and then the purple is the vocal. So like I said, it shows over here in layers, so I can come over here and I can mute the vocal out. And that's still just a 2-track. That's not stems or anything. That's just within the 2-track.
Nice.
So bring that back in. And if I want to, I can actually solo the vocals. So the thing about this is, in the past, you've always had to do these tricks with phase and try to pull out the center channel and everything. Using their AI techniques, they're able to pull this out in stereo with the background vocals, with effects on it. So there's modulation, delay, reverb, all that comes out, and very, very cleanly. So with Spectral Layers Go, what the great thing is this will be included with Pro Tools.
Great.
So no extra charge. And if you have the professional version with their authorization, which will give you a lot more features, all of that just gets turned on here. So you don't have to reinstall anything. It's just the authorization's there and you get the extras. But
my mind is still blown that this technology exists.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were hanging out with Bob
Right,
Clearmountain, and he mixed music from the Big Pink
Right.
in Atmos. A lot of that was recorded on a 4-track. And the fact that you can now do this.
Yeah, stem everything out from all those individual, yeah.
God, it's
amazing,
it's
yeah.
mind-blowing. When I used to think about how you have to EQ things to try and get the vocal to sound separate from the track.
Right.
Insane.
So just real quick, I want to talk about two of the other processes real quick. We've got WaveLab Go, which is another Steinberg process that we'll have access to. A really cool thing that's going to give us Pro Tools users is the big thing here is it's going to give us loudness, analyzation, and conforming. So over here, you can take a track like your main mix, and under the process tab, you have a loudness section. And there's all these presets for all the platforms. So if you need to output to Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Tidal, YouTube, all their specs are right there. It'll analyze it, it'll re-render exactly for what that needs to be before you upload it.
Very interesting.
And that's
very cool.
obviously something that we don't have. So that's, to me, that's one of the really good things about us and how we're doing ARA is that we're trying to partner with the people that are best in their field at these processes.
Right.
And get them on the platform. So we basically give them a way to get those things in, and we basically give our customers the best of the best tools out there.
Amazing.
One more ARA plugin that we've got coming. This is Acoustico from Acon Digital. This is their Essentials package. Once again, it's a basics package that it's not their full featured package, but this, once again, it will come with Pro Tools, so no extra charge. What's really cool about these guys, they've got a lot of restoration tools overall. And their Essentials package, what we're going to get out of this up front is the ability to do things like declip, declick, and dehum, which are some basic things. But they've got really great de-reverberate, they've got denoise, a lot of other really great things. So if you, once again, upgrade to their full package, you'll get all of that available in here as well.
Amazing.
So definitely some really great upgrade things there. So not only working here in kind of like what we can do with audio, but we're also doing some new MIDI stuff. So one of the first things I guess I want to talk about is we've worked a deal with Native Instruments, and we'll be offering soon when you install Pro Tools, you'll get Contact 8 Player.
Ooh.
So that'll actually be included with Pro Tools, and it'll also include some curated special instruments that were done just for us.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's coming. Now, what's really cool about Contact 8 is they've got this new Leap instrument in it, which is a really cool kind of loop-based tool. And to kind of go along with that kind of functionality, something that we haven't had in Pro Tools since Pro Tools 11, which is basically being able to drag or drop an audio file from the timeline to a sampler. So I know that's probably a lot of people are like, well, everybody else can do that. But yes, we used to be able to do it too, but it's been a while. But the cool thing is not only can you do it from the timeline, you can do it from the workspace browser, you can do it from the clip list. But the cool thing about how we're doing it from the actual timeline is when you drag an actual file and drop it onto your sampler here, it actually is going to use the commit functionality where it renders the file into our audio files folder, so you actually have a copy of that, so you're not having to worry well, where did that come from? Did that come from a sound effects drive? Did it come from over here? Whatever.
Sure.
It always is going to get processed and put into a folder with all the rest of your audio. The other really cool thing is how we're doing it, because we're doing a commit. It actually will take all the processing that's on that track. So any plugin that's live, any ARA, any clip effects, all that stuff gets actually rendered into the actual file itself. So you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I've got these plugins on it, so now I've got to move those down to where my sampler is. All that you don't have to worry about. So that's
You're not
a really
bouncing
cool
it through a bus and then dragging it up.
That's right, and it's just a single step to do it.
Lovely. Yeah. Very nice.
Last thing I want to talk about here is something that we've always been really known for with our audio editing, and that's playlists. So in Pro Tools 8, we came out with basically playlist comping, where you basically could do loop recording. It would create new playlists on the fly, and then you could comp up to your top track very easily. Well, here with this coming up version, we're actually going to be able to do that with instrument tracks and MIDI.
Lovely.
So same exact workflow.
I've been wanting that for a long time, so thank you.
Yep. So come over here, select something down here. You want that to be brought up. You just basically push that up to the track. Boom. It works exactly the same way as audio works. So
great.
These are some of the.
That's always been the thing, and to be honest, it's always been a bugbear for us audio guys that that do MIDI as well, rather than MIDI guys who get into audio. Is like we know our audio editing so well, and then we go to MIDI and go, well, why is it different commands? Why can't I just do the same edit?
Well, this is kind of our first steps into doing more to make what we do in MIDI be more like that audio, because that's what we're known for. Pro Tools is
an audio
editing
software
platform, right? And what we need to do is we need to get our MIDI to edit the same way as our audio, and this is kind of that first step. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, well, that's we've got some, like I said, some pretty exciting things that we got coming.
Gil, I really appreciate it.
Hopefully we'll get these out there sooner than later.
You rock. Thank you, Gil.
Thank you.